Hi there, this is Crystal, and today I'm doing a walkthrough of an album that I created. It's a mini album for a trip I took to Michigan in 2016. So I'm currently working on last year's trip. We have been going to the same place in Michigan for a few years now, and as I'm working on that, I thought I might as well just walk you through the album I created for the year before, so 2016. So it's a 6x8 album, and I created the cover using, this is actually a placemat that I purchased at Target several years back, and I just cut it down to be slightly larger than the page protector size. And then I punched holes and added these binder rings, so it's a very sturdy cover. It's worked out really well so far. That's what I'm using for the cover. And I don't typically decorate the fronts of my mini albums because when I slide them in and out of shelves, they tend to come off or tear or bend, and it takes up extra space on the shelf as well. So I tend to just kind of leave the covers blank usually. And this was such a pretty pattern that I thought it was just fine on its own. So that's the cover and kind of how the album is constructed. Inside I used a variety of page protectors, as you'll see. Some of them are Simple Stories, some are Echo Park, some are Becky Higgins that I've cut down. I've used the fuse tool on some of them, so I'll try and point out the different things that I've done with the covers as we go through. So this is the opening page. The materials that I've used have come from lots of different places, some from some older collections, some from Studio Calico, from kits, just kind of from all over. These are We Are Memory Keepers. This is a Studio Calico card. I'm not even sure where all of these came from. I think a lot of this is an older collection. I'm gonna have to look it up. I can't remember the collection, but it's one that I used a lot in this. So I will look it up, and I will link it here somewhere. And it's probably not available, but if I can find it, I will also link to a source for it in the notes below. I'm not gonna be able to point out all of the different supplies that I've used, but I will do so when I can. So this is the opening page. You can see it's Michigan 2016, and this is the first day. So I added a little 4x6 card in the center with my journaling on the back, and I just ran this through my regular printer. I did this before I had my typewriter, so I just ran this whole 4x6 card through the printer to print both the title and the journaling here. This little grill is something that I watercolored myself. I actually took watercolors and a watercolor pad to Michigan, to the cabin that we stayed in, and did some watercolor there. So I tried to include as much of that in this album as I could, since it was done while I was actually there. I thought it would be nice to just have as part of the album. This is one of the pages from like a little newspaper brochure that you get when you go to the national park. So I included a lot of those, and this one talks about this particular drive. That's where all of these pictures are from. So I just slipped it into a 6x8 full page protector from Simple Stories. Here's some more of the watercolor that I did while I was there. I was obviously really inspired by the scenery around me when I was watercoloring, and I'm not very good at watercolor. I'm not an artist by any means, so I was really just playing around and seeing what I could do, and it was just a cheap little set of watercolors, the same ones I use for scrapbooking. So I was just playing and having fun, and the water is just so gorgeous there. I thought that would be appropriate for this. I think this card is from Beautiful Messy Kit. I purchased a bunch of those when they were going out of business, and I believe that's what that is from. And this is some Freckled Fawn washi tape. These gold word strips are They're actually from Dollar Tree. They're from a dollar store, but I really liked them, so I picked up a set of those, and I've included them throughout the album. This is some more watercoloring that I did. This is an ephemera piece. I think it's from a crepe paper line. A lot of the vellum bits that are in here are from the old Studio Calico collection called Atlantic. It's actually several years old. It's maybe around 2011, but I had the ephemera pack from that, and it had lots of kind of water themed things and lots of vellum, so I've included those throughout the album. This is from Pebbles, and I don't remember the collection, but it was a set of kind of painted wood veneer pieces, and there are a couple of them throughout the album, so I'll try and point them out when I see them, and I will try and remember what that collection was called as well, but it was an older one. Some cork pieces from Studio Calico, some little word strips. I think those are also from Studio Calico, or maybe A Beautiful Mess. Such beautiful pictures from this trip. So I included lots of them. It's fairly photo heavy, but I didn't want to leave any of them out. So here's some more watercoloring that I did, and another little vellum piece from Atlantic. This is a stamp from one of the Studio Calico kits. This was a sticker that we got when we went to the National Lakeshore office, kind of like there's a gift shop and where they show like an informational film about the area, that sort of thing. Or the visitor center, that's what it's called. And this is the map from the Empire Bluff Trail that we took while we were there. These are some amazing tortilla chips and salsa that I got there, and we got them the next year too. They were just as good. Highly recommend them if you are in the area. This is more vellum from Atlantic, and another little vellum piece from a Studio Calico kit. Here's another one of those Pebbles wood veneer pieces. And I think that this is from Imagine This, and I don't know the collection, but I had a little set of die cuts from Imagine This from an outdoor themed collection, a kind of camping themed. So I used several of those in this album as well. Another little partial page that I used my fuse tool so I could stick a park map in. And then I just added a little tab to the side so that it's obvious that this is a separate page and turns separately. This is another stamp from a Studio Calico kit. This was at that same park, the Leelanau State Park, and there was a lighthouse there, and then there was a little miniature version made out of Legos of that lighthouse. So I took a picture of that as well as the lighthouse, and thought it would be neat to have them together. And this is just our parking pass from visiting that park, and I just kind of stuck it there because there was room. We also visited a brewery, and I had, there wasn't much I could drink there because I'm celiac, so I can't have beer, but they did have some espresso root beer that was amazing. So I had to take a picture of that. On this one, I ran it through my printer to get the journaling on there, and it went through wonky. So I didn't intend for the journaling to be on an angle like this, but I really didn't want to have to reprint it and to find a new card that would work. So I just kind of went with it and added a couple little strips of washi and some tiny attacher staples to make it look like it was intentional for it to be kind of at an angle. And some words are cut off, but I think overall it looks fine. Here's another little 4x6 card. This one is from A Beautiful Messy kit. Again, oh no, actually I hand wrote on this one. I wasn't sure how I could get it just in this white part if I printed it, so I just hand wrote some journaling. This is a little flare piece from the same crepe paper line that other dimensional embellishment was from. And here's another map that came from that same newspaper or newsprint visitor's guide as an earlier one. And I think I was getting lazy and just wanted to get this finished, so I didn't actually use my fuse tool on this, and so I just added a little bit to the side to make it look like it was meant to be in a bigger page protector than it needed to be. Here's some more gorgeous pictures of the lake. This is just a receipt from a canoe trip that Jessie took while we were there, and I just added this little tag. I actually cut that from a Studio Calico journaling card. It was just a regular 3x4 card. I think it had rounded corners, so I just cut out just the tag part to use on here. And I didn't go on the canoe trip with him. I stayed home and drank some cider from Tandem Ciders, and just to have some time just to relax by myself. So I thought that that was pretty appropriate. So the dogs are not, they were not young at this point, so they got tired very quickly after a morning at the beach. So most afternoons, this is just what they wanted to do. They just wanted to sleep, so I had to document that. And then this is a 4x6 journal card from that Pebbles collection, the same Pebbles collection. And on the back, I just did a little journaling about this day. And this little card that says "too much fun," which is kind of hard to read. You know, I'm not sure if you can see that on screen, but it's white letters that say "too much fun" because he was out. He just wanted darkness, so we put a sheet over him so the light wasn't shining in his face, and he slept. We also went to a winery, the El Mobby Winery, while we were there, and had to document that. It was a gorgeous area. And just included some things that we got there at the winery for free. And we also went to North Peak, although I didn't get any pictures from that, so I just included the coaster. And we went shopping at this little gift shop that had Michigan-themed things. And so I included the receipt and the business card from there. And then that's pretty much it. So this is another card from that same messy kit, another little vellum piece from the Atlantic collection, and just some more word phrase stickers. And then the back cover is the same as the front. So that is it. That's my 2016 Michigan album. It's pretty simple. I didn't do anything too crazy. I created this, I think, maybe a year and a half ago. So it's been a little while. So I don't remember all of the bits and pieces that I included, but it's the only one that I've done with a cover like this, so I thought I would show you and let you know that if you see these placemats at Target or anywhere else, I got this one. I know it was on clearance when I bought it, so I think I maybe paid like 25 cents for it or something like that. You can cut them down and make really nice album covers out of them. They're a bit more flexible than chipboard, but they hold up really well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here soon.